Good evening. It's Sunday, June 28th, 6:09 p.m. Worldometer, let's just reset it. Let's do a recap and the latest news. For a Sunday, the numbers were very, very high. People usually expect low numbers on the weekends. Probably has something to do with the workforce. But once again, there's no breaks this time. USA is the lead at 40,000 new cases. Let me see if I did see some strange things. Let me see. France did not report again. Sweden did not report again. There's a lot of no Denmark, no Sudan, Finland, Cameroon. So it's a lot of countries not reporting, including states within countries. So keep in mind something strange going on. Let's go to the USA. Wow. Florida has 8,500 on a Sunday. That's something. California second place, 5,000. Texas 4,000. Arizona 3,000, almost 4,000. Georgia 2,000. Nevada somehow didn't have any deaths. Everybody report. So Rhode Island is considered one of the states doing well, but why aren't they reporting? I mean, if you're doing well, but you're not reporting, you're not really doing well. You're hiding something. Tennessee didn't report. Nothing from Idaho. Well, these ones is rare. I would understand that. So people are just not reporting. That's unbelievable. We'll see tomorrow how that progresses. Latest news: 6/28/2020. Coronavirus testing. Waits grow as demand rises. Supplies run short in Phoenix area. Some Arizonians have reported waiting in line for hours on end for tests, battling the punishing summer heat. Instead of a couple of days, some people now report waiting a week or more to hear whether they tested positive for the disease. And in the last 2 weeks, tests increased by around 50% and cases around 100%. My sense is that there's so many people in the community that are sick right now that want to get tested that it's just overwhelming what supply does exist, he said. So this isn't the only place. We know that testing has always been an issue, and probably the majority, if not all, the countries in the world. It's just not enough tests, not enough workers to carry out the tests, and it's concerning because Arizona is one of the fastest growing states. LA County faces critical moment as coronavirus cases keep surging. Some of the easing of stay-at-home orders is in jeopardy unless the trend changes. In San Bernardino County, officials said that many hospitals are getting closer to reaching surge capacity and that they are making plans to open alternate care sites for patients if hospitals fill up. On Friday, Gavin Newsom said that he was recommending that Imperial County reinstitute stricter stay-at-home orders after it continued to report the highest per capita case rate of any county in the state, as well as the highest rate of positive tests. Again, I had touched early upon Imperial County. It's the worst hit county in California. As I said before, they have many people that work there from Mexico because they're right on the border, and they happen to be from the city that's the epicenter in Mexico, and that's how it came. That's how it got brought in. That plus there's other things going on, like really bad. The bosses that are in charge of those workers don't really take good care of them, and there's other things going on besides that. San Francisco has also decided to pause the relaxation of its stay-at-home orders amid a rise in new cases, Mayor London Breed announced Friday. They've often said San Francisco is one of the better counties in LA. There is one county that has 0 cases. There's only one county in California that has 0 cases, but among the entire county, they've only done 300 tests. So if you don't do tests, you don't have cases. As of Thursday, California had seen a 32% increase in hospitalizations of patients with confirmed COVID-19 and a 19% jump in ICU patients with verified infections over the previous 14 days. I saw a comment on Twitter where this person was saying that, well, why isn't Newsom focusing on health instead of closing down the bars? And what is the point of ignoring the bars is if these cases will swell up so much that they'll collapse the healthcare system. Like that type of thinking is if you let the majority of the population go out and get infected, no matter what you do to the health system, it's going to collapse. It's too much there will be too many sick people ending up in the hospitals. As of Thursday, California has seen a 32% increase in hospitalizations of patients with confirmed COVID-19 and a 19% jump in ICU patients with verified infections over the previous 14 days. I also want to point out that Florida, I think, had 10,000 cases today originally, and it got chopped down to 8,000. I do recall that earlier while I was putting all these articles together. More recent news. Only 2 U.S. states are reporting a decline in new coronavirus cases compared to last week. Connecticut and Rhode Island. Well, if you're not reporting like Rhode Island, of course you would see a decline. A rise was reported in a staggering 36 states, including Florida. I just talked about, which some experts have cautioned could be the next epicenter for. There are many states that could become an epicenter. Texas is definitely one of. There's many, all right, and Texas is like I said, they're already turning patients away, sending them to different cities because they don't have the capacity anymore. I should have a story. Yeah, so we'll get back to Texas. Officials there and across the U.S. are also warning of an increase in cases among younger people. Again, there's a lot coming out that it's the young people. Why? Because they don't care, because they watch Pandemic, because they watched Andrew Kaufman, because they watched all these grifters and liars and people that are spreading misinformation about the virus, and they're falling for it. They're taking it in hook, line, and sinker and buying the products. This virus still has the upper hand. The dawning numbers could be a tip of the iceberg, Frieden said. A CDC survey suggests that the total number of coronavirus infections across the U.S. could actually be 6 to 24 times greater than reported. Nobody knows. But if the world has done what? Tested about less than 1%. Okay, so I think if we look at the total test that the world has done, every single country, I think we've tested what? 1%, 2% of the whole population, maybe a lot less. And we have so many positive cases despite that. If magically we could do 100% tests of everybody in the world, we would find some very disturbing numbers. It's not going to happen, though. And I'm still laughing that China magically inputted 90 million tests and got almost nothing out of it that came positive. That's laughable at this point. In recent days, officials across the U.S. have reported a rise in cases among younger groups. There it is again. Panama City woman survives COVID-19 after a 6-week coma. Myers said although it only felt like a one night's sleep, the 6-week coma presented challenges she had never faced before. When I woke up from COVID-19, everything in my life had changed, she said. I could not walk. I've heard it a lot. People have been getting sick and they can barely even move. To the point where some patients, the only way they can communicate is by moving their eyes to signal yes and no. That's how bad this virus can cripple you if you happen to be unlucky and take that gamble of getting that margarita. She also said she was unable to smell or taste or even talk. We know obviously now the smell and taste is common. The case of the smell is interesting because they said that there's no inflammation. They don't understand why they can't smell, but obviously that has to do with the virus getting into the brain. She said she had lost feeling in her legs and thought one of her feet might need to be amputated from a pressure wound due to the coma. We know from blood clotting that there are patients who have seen amputations. Famously, Nick Cordero, that actor that's become Corona Chan's punching bag, he had to get his leg amputated as a result of the blood clots that the virus was causing in his body. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more common, but because he was a celebrity, it kind of got put into the spotlight. And there are more cases out there if you search of amputations or near amputations as a result of the clotting that's going on because of this virus. I hear so many people say it's like a cold. It's like a flu. It's not, Myers said. My whole life changed over COVID-19. I'm here to tell you the flu don't do you like that. I mean, people that are comparing this to the flu, you're comparing completely different things that are not even comparable. You can't even say that the flu kills more on the basis that this virus has only been here for a few months, whereas the flu is a well-established virus. You can't compare it to the flu. That's not an argument anymore. But it's scary that the fact that she went to sleep, woke up, and it was 6 weeks later. That's something. Additional recent news. Another cover-up. Texas Medical Center deletes ICU data amid state's coronavirus spike. Houston's leading source of intensive care unit ICU data had seemingly removed all previously published reports from its website on Sunday morning. Texas hospitalizations reached a new peak Saturday, with 5,523 new virus patients admitted to medical facilities across the state. The latest figures surpassed record high hospitalizations numbers reported by the Texas Department of State Health Services, DSHS, throughout the second half of the month. Houston's overall ICU capacity, which reached 100% last week, on Wednesday, when 3% of the city's ICU beds remain available. So Florida, we know, has been covering up, manipulating, firing those who don't want to play along with the administration. And now Texas is deleting information. It's all a cover-up. Maryland. State officials have ordered a Maryland lab to stop performing coronavirus tests and have warned people who recently got tested through the company that the results may be incorrect. So right now there's panic in Maryland because all these people did all these tests and it turns out they were wrong. So it turns out it's not known if they're negative or positive. Now they got to go back and do it again. So that's horrible. Michigan, outbreak of COVID-19 at Community Bible Church in Waterford. Again, the blood of Jesus is not going to protect you against this virus. The faith can't defeat this. And these kind of stories are just all over the place. Infection within the WWE. More details on Adam Pearce testing positive for the coronavirus. There is a lot of concern because of how closely Pearce has been in contact with Bruce Pritchard, Vince McMahon, and Ric Flair. Adam Pearce, Jamie Noble, and Kayla Braxton all recently revealed that they tested positive and are currently isolating from the rest of the roster. As of this writing, word is that over 1 to 2 dozen people within WWE have the virus. Now, I grew up in wrestling. Dare I say, back when it was good. And it's just like I know who these people are. I grew up watching them entertaining me. It really is a shame that this is happening, and they do not want to release the full extent of who's infected. So we can only assume that it's bad, really bad. India, Hyderabad, as many as 180 persons, including 100 trainees, sub-inspectors of police, undergoing training at the Telangana State Police Academy (TSPA), have tested positive for COVID-19. So India is, I think, third next to the USA and Brazil in recording mass positive infections. They're starting to really report these huge numbers, and it's just apocalyptic in India. You think population density was bad in New York, where it became bad? India is worse. And one more story: South Africa. Its current surge of COVID-19 cases is expected to dramatically increase in the coming weeks and press the country's hospitals to the limit, the health minister said Sunday night. South Africa, a country of 57 million people, already has more than a third of the reported cases for all. Has already more than a third of the reported cases for all 54 countries in Africa, a continent of 1.3 billion people. More than 4,300 people have been hospitalized out of South Africa's 138,000 confirmed cases. Health Minister Zwelini Mkhize said in a statement. He warned this number is expected to rise quickly. We are seeing a rapid rise in the cumulative number of positive COVID-19 cases, indicating that, as we had expected, we are approaching a surge during the months of July and August, Mkhize said in a statement. Now, this is one of the very few countries that actually kind of tries to be honest with how long this will drag on to. You got the USA that Mike Pence and Trump believe we have already won, despite that people are dropping dead all over the place and getting hospitalized and suffering long-term effects. And other countries like China that have supposedly won when they're suffering from a second outbreak that they're massively covering up. But South Africa is actually a little more honest and at least telling you that this virus is here to stay and is staying for a while. So that's all I got. That's today's latest news. It's a Sunday, very slow day. I actually ran out of articles pretty early because it's just a slow day. People are not working. A lot of people are off. The part-timers are the ones doing a lot of the work. Tomorrow, Monday, should be a catching up of the weekend. So I think Tuesday we're gonna start to see some horrific numbers considering how bad this weekend was. So thanks for tuning in. I will put the paste bin once again in the description so you can look at all my sources. Again, everything is sourced. Want to pick an article? Just take the source, report it, spread the word. share the info, share the video. Take care, stay safe.